Kent, it's our first time visiting the complex here. Nice digs. You mentioned kind of moving the whole race team into this side of things. Obviously, this is part of a bigger undertaking. Tell us a little bit about the transformation here at KO Motorsports and how you've taken the spearheaded role on that.
Well, we started off just a one-car deal, and then we wanted to add a second car, and we did. And that kind of worked out into our favor, and we had a lot of fun doing it. And it's just one of them things to keep snowballing up, really. We come across the deal, to run Chase full-time last year, and I felt like we were pretty good out of the box with that deal. Which, it's kind of growing more over the winter here. We're adding a couple more guys. And we just want to continue to go out and try to be successful and have fun doing it at the same time.
Last year, you said expanding, bringing in Chase. Were the results that you had off the bat, were those expected? Was it a surprise at all? How did you feel kind of going into that expanded role and bringing Chase in?
Honestly, to me, no, it wasn't a surprise at all. We work very well together, and anytime you can put his group of guys and our group of guys together, we have fun, and we usually have some success doing it. He's got a core group of guys that come with him, and they're still here.
Yeah.
We all live here local, so it just works out.
Chase obviously has been up and down the road. He's done it. He's seen it. He's lived through the wars on the road. It felt like he had hit a bit of a lull. Did you feel that a little bit? Did you feel like maybe he needed something a little bit different to get himself going?
Yeah, we had talked about that back and forth a little bit, because both he and I would get together and share setup information, things like that, and bounce crazy ideas off each other. And he would have the same issues that I would be talking about. And yeah, I got it. I understood it, and I knew where he was at. And that's the reason why it really made sense to just, throw the toys in one sandbox and go at it just hardcore.
Sprint Week obviously is a huge accomplishment. It was cool, especially you guys able to finish it at home and win at home and party at home at the end of it. But it leads the rest of us to wonder, what's next? Are there short-term goals? Are there long-term goals here? What's
honestly,
next?
The big picture is we really want to win a championship, and that's everybody's big picture. We just got to continue to strive towards that goal, work hard, and keep our head down and keep going.
We go to Florida. You mentioned expanding things a little bit. You have your veteran, a guy that can get it done, can win every night. You're trying some stuff with younger kids now too. Tell us a little bit about that and that kind of challenge.
Well, we got Paul Nienheiser coming on board, as well as Carson Garrett. Paul is proving himself time and time again in a wing car. I honestly think he's going to adapt to the non-wing side of things really quick, and look for him to be in contention. Carson, he's a midget guy. I don't really know how much experience he has overall in the years past, but I really look for him to make some big splash too, because we've had him in the car a few nights at Hopstad. I think both these guys are going to be gassers, and I really look for Chase to kind of mold and help them along the way, as well as the rest of the crew guys that have been around for a while.
For a lot of viewers who maybe aren't familiar with you and your past, you've raced this, that, all over the place. What is it that made you want to take on something different, from this vantage point?
It's just part of getting older, Hell, whenever I started racing, I was sitting in the stands over at Hopstad one night and ran across a guy that was racing mini sprints, and struck up a conversation with him, and he told me where he was going to be, and I ended up in Linton, Indiana at a mini sprint race the following Friday, and thought, I got to have one of these. So it just kind of snowballed from there. I started racing the minis, and then went to the midgets, and ran Power I stuff and some USAC stuff, and then got into sprint cars because I got tired of traveling, and there were, sprint cars are at home. It's hard to go racing somewhere else 5 hours away when you're 10 minutes away from the track. And what got me into the thing is I like working on cars. I like building different things. I like working out of the box. I mean, there's a reason why I have relationships with some odd characters,
Yeah. One thing that's clear, this past year and what you guys have here is you guys do things your own way, and you guys are high on the fun factor. Mm-hmm. How important is it that you guys have so much fun on the road, that you're sort of known as a place that people can hang out after the races? And I feel like you don't take yourselves too seriously when it comes to that. How important is it to have that lightened up vibe?
It's really important because at the end of the day, if you're stressed out and you're not having fun at what you're doing, you might as well throw your tools down and go home, pick up a new hobby. That's the important part of things. And we are known for come over, hang out, speak a little bit, have a cold one, we'll chew the fat and move on down the road to the next one.
Our Iron Man with the AMSOIL National Sprint Car Championship, Chase Stockon, came to Davis Brothers KO Motorsports last year, and seemed like a home right away. What was it for you to change scenery there and try something different?
It was definitely a change of pace for sure. Over the last, course of 9 years, ran my own program basically, and with the help of Tom Berkey, and it was kind of tough, not having control of everything, and from that aspect of it, that was kind of probably the toughest part. But Rooster, he's always built me a really nice piece every time I've drove for him, in the year previous. So that part of it kind of made the decision easy. But all the guys here, and myself, DJ, Mister, Kevin, we all clicked really, really well together, and we have a good time when we're traveling. And every night we can get out of the race car, and as long as I'm putting forth 100% and they put forth 100%, everybody's happy.
How tough was it for them to talk you into something different out of what you've had, especially with you and DJ and Mister have had such a good rapport over the years? How difficult was it to do something different?
Well, as you guys know, I drove last year for them in MSCS competition, and we had a really good year there too. But as far as the USAC circuit goes, that was kind of a little bit of a different gig, and I was kind of nervous about even asking Tom Berkey, Superior Tank and Trailer, if he'd be interested in partnering up with these guys. And it made me sweat and kind of sleepless nights, there thinking about it, and he was all on board with it. And I guess that was kind of the determining factor for me to do something different. And I was kind of thinking about even looking at maybe retiring and not racing full time. And these guys over here kind of rekindled the fire, and we have a lot of fun together, that's for sure.
We saw that rejuvenation. It definitely was a different guy again, and you came out winning Indiana Sprint Week as a kid who's been through the wars in Indiana and spent a lot of time on Indiana racetracks and run all these USAC races. How special was that to finish that off right here at home and take a Sprint Week championship? Very special.
That's the year we finished second to Baloo in the championship. I think we was pretty close, kind of I guess in the talk of winning Sprint Week that year, and that kind of stung not being able to win it, and we kind of had some issues there at the end, and we've never ever been able to close it, and this year is just kind of different. Rooster and DJ and Brian, all the guys, they worked their butts off, throughout the kind of the break there we had in between the first half of the week, second half of the week, and kind of Rooster, he's team manager here, and he said there's no excuses. We're going to bring the best piece we possibly can to the racetrack, and I think it's hard work like that kind of gives us the success we've had over here.
We've watched you. I've told the story a lot of 2012, you going out on the road and basically just you and your wife for some of those, and I can still remember the first podium and how excited you were. To go from that small operation, pretty modest, beginnings to, the team you have around you now, what does it say to not just yourself, but what you can make of yourself in sprint car racing?
Yeah, kind of looking back at that time frame, I never ever dreamed that, myself, I never thought I'd be capable of being the driver I am to even be in the conversation to run for a team like this. So, that part of it's pretty humbling, and the rest, like I said before with Tom, he's on board with the idea, and my wife, same, DJ, that's kind of part of our deal. If everybody's happy, I'm happy. So, I take a lot of stake of what they think into kind of what I do racing wise. So, it just, I guess, like we touched on earlier, it just made things easy.
Going into 2021, I would say expectations have changed and the scenery's changed here. You're not just yourself, you're also a team leader too. How do you take that? How do you take expectations into 2021 and then also being a mentor to somebody too?
Yeah, it's definitely going to be a little bit different, but that's, I guess you'd say, since I've been over here, kind of been out of my comfort zone a little bit, kind of had to learn how to adapt to some different things, and this year, once again, it's going to be a learning experience, and I think I'm up for the challenge. So, You know, as far as mentor-wise, I don't know what advice I had to offer really, but you know, we're just going to go out and, you know, everybody's going to put forth 100%, and you know, if everybody does that, I think we'll have another successful year. You know, across the board. You know, every driver on the team, and I think it's going to be a lot of fun.
We're ready to go to Ocala. Ocala's been good to you. How excited are you to get back south and try it again?
Definitely excited. You know, Rooster had a really fast car there last year and even the year before, and you know, we've had a fast race car when the tracks have gotten slick up in Indiana this year, and you know, all over, I guess, the other places that we've ran. So you know, I'm really excited to get one of these race cars down there. You know, the Velocity chassis, they seem to kind of shine a little bit when the track's a little bit slicker, and that place tends to get pretty slick. So just kind of the track shape and everything, I'm really looking forward to bringing one of these cars down there.